We have the Belmont this weekend, and like he's been for every leg of the Triple Crown, Gino has come on to tell us what bets to lock in. Gino, what's going on today, my man?
Not too much. Just getting ready. I'm actually heading out to Oklahoma this weekend for a buddy's wedding, so I'm getting all my stuff taken care of, and I'll be flying into Dallas, then driving from Dallas over to Oklahoma. So I'll be in Texas and in Oklahoma over the weekend.
Oklahoma is one of the states I've never been to.
Never been myself, so this will be a
Never,
first.
never been to Oklahoma. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. I was there in college.
Yeah, never been.
I was there in college. My bad. My bad. So
Don't even remember. It must have been a good time. Yeah, must have been a good time.
I have a couple stories. So we're not here to talk about my escapades in college. We're here to talk about some Belmont. Obviously the big news, and you and I didn't think that what's his face, Rich Strike, was going to be going.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I'm glad he's running. I didn't think he was going to run back. I will say I will not bet him at all in this race, and very, very unlikely that I ever bet him again. I think whatever his actual price and chances are of winning races will be just much shorter because of his reputation. If you look at his form coming in, he had never run any race in his life that was comparable or even close to what he ran in the Kentucky Derby. If that race was not on his page, he would be the longest shot in this field. The longest shot in the field. There's a reason why he was 80-1 going into the Kentucky Derby, because a lot of these horses that he's been facing have been better than him, a little bit faster than him, and I have to make him prove it. I think he's listed at 7-2 on the morning line, and he'll probably be around 3-1. No shot. Like, no chance I would play him at that price. Can he run like third or fourth? Yeah, maybe. I would be shocked if he won, and if he did, I would need so much more of a price than what you're going to get on him for me to feel comfortable. This was a stronger renewal of the Belmont, and he was 10-1 because there were a couple other of the major epicenter early voting, some other horses, like good 3-year-olds. I just can't. I would make a case for almost every other horse in the race before I would make a case for him.
Between We the People, Rich Strike, and Mo Donegan, who do you think is going to close as a favorite?
I think We the People will be favored. We the People has a very, very likely chance of getting the lead and going wire to wire. There's no other speed in this race on paper. There are no other horses in here who their running styles are front runners. This field is all horses who are like mid-pack. They want to kind of sit in the middle, or closers. So We the People benefits from that. The problem, I have a couple issues with We the People and a few issues with him at a short price. I don't really know how good any of the horses that he's ever beat are, or really competed against. Number two, his biggest win ever came in the slop. Now, it could be raining on Saturday. If it's raining, you probably want to upgrade We the People. But when horses run their best race ever on a sloppy racetrack, it's hard sometimes to know why they ran so well. And a lot of times it is because they like the way that the track is when it's sloppy, and like the other 6 horses in the race don't. And so that one horse runs well on it, and they look awesome when everybody else just kind of backs up. And in the Arkansas Derby, there was a lot of people at Oaklawn. He got really, really warm and kind of washed out in the paddock. He was all geared up, and he just did not run a race at all. That was the only time he didn't win. He just did not fire at all. There are going to be a lot of people at Belmont Park. There are going to be more people at Belmont than probably that he saw at Oaklawn Park for the Arkansas Derby. If crowds bother him and he's the type of horse who gets keyed up, I might have enough knocks on a horse who's 2-1, to not bet him to win. I don't know if I'd completely throw him out of exotics. Like Rich Strike, I won't be having Rich Strike in my pick 4s or pick 5s or anything like that. Yeah. We the People will probably be on some. Mo Donegal feels to me, again, like the most likely winner of this race. I picked him in the Derby, Eric, and he didn't run bad in the Derby. He finished 5th. Rich Strike beat him in the Derby. Rich Strike was awesome in the Kentucky Derby. Now, everything I'm saying about Rich Strike, we cannot take away from him how good he was in the Derby. It's just one of those things where I'm going to make him prove it to me. Mo Donegal has proved in basically every race that he's run that he's really, really good. He's really never run a bad race. Every race that he's ever run before Rich Strike would have been worlds better than Rich Strike's, except for the Derby, when Rich Strike was a little bit better than Mo Donegal. You know, not even all that much. So if they're close in price at all, I'm going to lean again to Mo Donegal because he's the only one of the best 3-year-olds that I really feel is in this race.
Yeah, like I kind of feel with Rich Strike, everything just kind of the stars aligned. Stars aligned.
Yep.
Now Nest is in here. What are your thoughts on the filly?
I don't love her. I don't hate her. Her price is okay. I like her more than I liked Secret Oath in the Preakness. Right? I wasn't really high on Secret Oath's chances in the Preakness. I didn't really like her there. Nest shouldn't really have a problem getting the distance. Nest should probably get a pretty nice trip too. After We the People, Nest might be then sitting maybe 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, like in that next little group. So I don't really have a problem with her. I won't be betting her to win. She might make her way onto 1 or 2 of my pick 4 and 5 tickets. If she is 8-1 or above, that's where she should be. That's like what her chances of winning this race are. If she's 10-1, then I think you start really talking about like, yeah, she's got more ability than being 10-1 against this group, because this is not the strongest group in the world. It's just not. So it's a good spot for her to take a chance. She's going to need to improve. She will.
So how I interpret that from you, because I'm a pick 6, pick 5 player, pick 4, Mo, Dolligan, and We the People are pretty much it. Is there anyone else I should include?
Creative Minister.
Okay.
I like him quite a bit in this spot too. I think Mo Donegal might be the horse who, if you said, who do you think is the most likely to win the race? I would probably say Mo Donegal. Creative Minister might be the most interesting bet in this race. You know, if he's over 5-1 and he just continues to get a little bit better. He was a good 3rd in the Preakness. There was nothing wrong with the 2 horses who were in front of him. He wasn't in the Kentucky Derby, so he's not a horse who's trying to run, again, in a quick period of time after having run in a really tough Kentucky Derby. He's running back again after running the Kentucky Derby weekend, but he feels like the type of horse who's just stepping forward nicely and is heading into this race in a really good direction. So I don't have very many knocks on him. If you're looking for a horse to bet, that would probably be the one I would give out if he's anything 5-1 or over.
Now, I always love these head-to-head matches. So just to confirm, you're going to have Mo Dolligan, Creative Minister, and We the People in your multi-wager tickets.
1 or 2 with Nest. Yeah.
Okay. You'll throw Nest like in a couple.
And that's probably it. I don't think any of the deeper long shots, I don't really like their win chances in this race. I think some of them maybe we'll talk about some head-to-heads and who I like more, but I couldn't really get to any of the other longer prices winning this race.
Now, in terms of betting, like for me, how I do it on race days like this, if I'm alive in like the pick 5, pick 6, whatever, I usually just don't bet the race.
Yeah.
Now
I'm pretty similar.
Okay. Now, hypothetically, you're not alive. Are you just, if Creative Minister is over 5-1, are you betting on him, or is everything?
Yeah, if Mo Donegal for any reason was like over like 3, if he clicked to 3-1, I would bet him.
Mm-hmm.
If I think he's probably going to be 5-2-ish, 2-1. In my head, that's what he should be. So if he's over that, that's where my value would come in. Creative Minister around 5. Like Rich Strike, I think is just going to be a massive underlay. He's trained really, really good coming into this race and can never take that Derby win away from him. But I just got to make him prove it to me that he's this good.
Now, if I can lock in 7-2 on Donegal right now, should I just do it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do it. Yeah.
Now one of the big things I love doing, you nailed them for the Preakness and for the Derby. These head-to-heads. Love me some head-to-heads. The first one, we have We the People minus 120, Mo Donegal minus 110. Would this be a pass, or would you get involved in this
Yeah,
one?
I'd probably be a pass because like they're the two most likely winners of the race, I think. I would just rather play one of them to win if I was going to versus the head-to-head matchup like that. So, yeah, that one doesn't jump out to me quite as much. I
Not,
I like Golden Glider a little bit better than Skippy Longstocking, just
ooh,
like if I were ranking them. So that one I don't have a problem with at all. I think Golden Glider's got a little bit of upside. I'm a tad worried about the 1.5 miles for him, but he's kind of a grinder that picks pieces up. I think Skippy Longstocking could maybe be a little more forwardly placed and then back up. So yeah, I would lean Golden Glider in that one.
Creative Minister and Nest.
I prefer Creative Minister. I don't know if that price would be one that I would want to jump in on. Like the next one, I'd absolutely go Nest. Absolutely.
I'm going to be on this one as well.
Yeah.
I think, on the next one, Creative
Creative
Minister.
Minister, 100% over Rich Strike.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like any Rich Strike head-to-heads, I would go the other way in any one of them because he's just shorter. If Rich Strike wins this race,
You're
I'm
fine getting
wrong.
beat by him. You're
I'm
fine. You know
wrong.
what I mean? Like,
But
if
he still should, he's going to win it at way shorter than what he should be. He should be like an 8 or 10 to 1 shot winning this because he's still not proven enough off of that one race. If there's ever the type of race where something really crazy does happen, it is in the Kentucky Derby because there are 20 horses. Weird stuff happens. Horses get shuffled back. You get all sorts of trouble. It's not quite as useful as a tool, right? If football games were played against, one team, there were 5 teams playing in a game, right? Versus judging games that are shorter, like it's like gauging like a Royal Rumble versus a one-on-one, right? It's like it's totally different with the way that the race shapes up. So I would go on like a lot of these. Creative Minister, Nest, absolutely. Creative Minister over Rich Strike is my favorite one so far. That minus 105.
Barber Road and Nest, I mean, that's way too juicy for me. I'm going to play Barber Road here.
Yeah, I don't. That one doesn't get me all that excited.
Mo Donegal, I love it, but minus 160 price, I can't play
Yeah,
that.
I really wouldn't want to pay that. Like, I wouldn't go like if it was like minus 120, 130, I'd be okay with it. That's starting to get a little bit too high though.
We the People minus
Same sort of thing. Like I like both Mo Donegal and We the People more, but I would just rather bet them and just fade Rich Strike than lay the money in this particular. The problem with a thing like that, right, is like if you're trying to bet against Rich Strike and all your betting are head to heads, like We the People could have a bad break and be dead last and then you're just kind of screwed. So I prefer sort of just maybe not betting Rich Strike in as much or a couple of these head to heads, but I wouldn't want to just attack every head to head. Yeah, the We the People Mo Donegal ones aren't enough juice for me.
We the People, another big price over Nest.
I don't think that's enough on Nest to like for me to want to get in at the plus 120 there.
Oh wow, Mo Donegal minus 175. This is kind of interesting to me.
That he's shorter than We the People.
Yeah. How that's kind of a little bit of an interesting see, like
right?
How I read this
is they think Mo Donegal is going to take more money.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting to me.
Yeah.
So basically, the head-to-head that Gino is telling everyone to hammer is Creative Minister minus 105 over Rich Strike. You can also take Nest, but if you had to pick one of them, it would be Creative Minister, correct?
Yep. Okay. Yep. That's probably the most fun wager. It's a bummer. I mean, the card is fine. The race is fine, and you've got 8 there. The rest of the card, it's sad. There's a lot of really small fields throughout the card. It's not quite as juicy as some of the Belmonts in years past. There are some big stars that are running, but we don't have a lot of 10, 12 horse fields. A lot of 5 horse fields.
Why do you think that is?
About 15 reasons. The first is the way that we breed horses from the very beginning and the ground up. We sort of race to breed and not breed to race. Horses don't run very often. They skip big races. They worry more about making money in breeding because it's become more of a business than it has. And I understand why people would do that if you're someone who has a lot of money and you're using this as an investment. But what ends up happening is it hurts the actual horses. You have horses that run less. They become a stallion. How do we know if this horse is durable? How do we know how good these horses are if they've only run 4 or 5 times? They've never really been tested. And then they go and produce a bunch of other horses that all of a sudden aren't very durable either moving forward.
Yeah.
Horses, we're really worried about getting speed out of horses at a very young age instead of breeding a more durable horse that's got more stamina. The Japan breeding industry has just knocked us right off of our feet. They've absolutely demolished us in the way they do things. Horse racing overall, it's sort of a bummer. It's like kind of how I feel about baseball. It's run by people that are kind of stupid. Like most of the people that are in places of power that make big decisions are either not gamblers or they don't care about their gamblers and the customers and the people that are betting their money all the time. And it's a really big trickle down effect all the way. It hurts the horsemen. It hurts the horse population. You and I could sit here and have hour-long conversation alone about all of the different things that need fixing. It's just, unfortunately, they know they need fixing and they don't care or do anything about it until a day like this happens. And it's like, oh, wow, there are short fields all around. And then people start acting like there's a problem. It's a little bit of a bummer.
Gino, thanks for taking time out. I know, you got a wedding this weekend. You got the Belmont, you got the NBA finals. Thanks for taking time out. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on social media?
Always, buddy. It's me, Gino B, is where you can follow me on Twitter. All sorts of content there. Anytime you need help handicapping races, I'm over there providing insight, information. We'll be shifting our focus pretty soon when basketball stops, talking a lot more football. So Eric's going to be helping me out. We'll be doing football previews, team previews, win totals, divisional stuff, fantasy stuff on my podcast. That's what G said. Probably some live stream stuff with you, and then a lot of stuff with Better Than Vegas.
Yep, it never stops. I'm looking forward to transitioning to football. Enjoy Oklahoma, and
thank you, buddy.
Let's make some money this weekend, my friend.
Good luck, everyone. Maybe I'll have an Oklahoma story or two, like Eric.